I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with a 3-minute cattle market update for Wednesday, August the 24th. There's no wonder why we don't have any long speculators anymore in the live cattle futures market. Here we are in the last full week of trading, getting ready for this August contract to mature, with the August contract on a Tuesday at 113.25. Our last traded cattle of last week had a weighted average of 117.50. And we've already had some early week trade at 115. But, they can't rely on that to stay even as good as what the cash market is. I know our hedgers love that, our short hedgers that are feeding cattle, because it helps them with a couple of extra bucks there whenever they close out. But it's the long speculators that we need to help prop this thing up when we're not getting them. You look at your live cattle futures for October here this week. Monday was up 10 cents, Tuesday down 62 to end the day on Tuesday at 109.72. And as I said, the August live cattle futures ended Tuesday at 113.25. Feeder cattle on September contract, Monday was up 57, Tuesday was down 50 cents to end the day on Tuesday at 143.92. CME cash feeder cattle index is at 147.84, being propped up by a lot of direct cattle. Your real-time index on Cattle Market Central is solely on publicly traded auction cattle there, and it's at 142.60. But you look at your weighted average on last week's fat cattle trade, which was 93,500 head in the 5-area feeding region there. Your live steers had a weighted average of 117.51, down 84 cents from the previous week. Dressed steers at 186.03, down 88 cents from the previous week. There's already been a little bit of trade at 115. We went into this week on a downer, knowing that we lost ground every day last week on the live cattle futures, knowing that we were probably on a downer week here, and so we were thinking, a couple bucks lower. Well, the Packers are such master negotiators. What they've done early in the week, and they do this quite often, they go up into Iowa, southern Minnesota area, where those people are they're used to sucking hind tit on the market. And so they tell them, well, the market's going to be a couple, $3 lower. 115 is probably the best it's going to be. If you want that on a cash basis or a live basis on cash, we'll give that to you right now. And a lot of them will go ahead and jump at it. Of course, they don't have real good connections. A lot of them just have a pen of cattle ready a few times a year. Well, then later in the week, when it gets time just to work with all those big commercial yards and the big glut of the cattle that are sold, negotiated for the week, then they say, well, we've already set the market at $1.15. You can take that or leave it, and most of them will go ahead and take it. So we're pretty much stuck with $1.15 here unless we have a big turnaround on the board. Your cattle on feed that come out last Friday was a little bit bearish there. I don't really think that's having a big effect this week so far. Maybe it did in your cash feeder cattle markets, but I think more so the downer that we see going into on the live cattle trade had more to do that. But your cattle on feed report showed increased placement and on feed numbers, mostly in the southern plains in Colorado. Nebraska and your northern plains were actually down some, but they will catch up because right now they've been in the middle of harvest. They've been busy doing that. They don't usually get into the market to start putting a lot of cattle on until we see those big giant calves out of the northern plains come to ship. That's what they like to feed anyway. Your southern plains guys would rather feed a Mexican or a dairy cross or something than they would a big fat balling calf weighing 7.5 or 8 coming out of Montana or Wyoming or something like that. But not your northern plains guys. It's easily said that the older cattle, the yearling cattle, are more efficiently fed. You don't have as much problems with them. Your guys up north that like to feed them big calves said they've been doing good all their life. They'll continue to do good, and maybe they do. They're definitely better quality cattle, and they will come out with more likable carcass quality than some of these plainer cattle. But they'll be catching up, putting cattle on feed and having numbers on feed. Look at your Oklahoma City market or Monday cash market, 6,000 head in Oklahoma City. Feeders $4 to $6 lower, which was a little bit sharper than what most people would had expected, but your calves were firm. And comparably, your heavy feeders all summer long have kind of been gaining ground in comparison to what your calf market is. So maybe these big heavy feeders are a little bit high, and your calf market is really pretty stout going into a big calf crop and getting ready to start moving those. Joplin had 4,600 head on Monday, 2 to 5 lower. If you look on Cattle Market Central, a market report out of Joplin there, you can see that your 5-weight steers had a weighted average just over $1.50, with your heifers $13 back. But you see all your quotes there on every weight group were lower, and a little bit more sharply lower than what the market was called by the market reporter there, but definitely lower. Check out DVAuction on this Saturday, August the 27th in the afternoon there. The Spader Ranch Horse Sale and Ranch Horse Contest is going to be broadcast there. Don't miss that sale. That's a neat sale. If you just get on there and watch, be sure and do that. But there's some neat horses on there. It's the final foal crop of the Blue Max Hancock horses there, and you want to get on there and at least watch that sale. But get registered anyway, just in case you get a wild hair and want to buy one. That's 3 minutes, and we'll talk to you on Friday.